Hi, Sandy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the A.D.K Rock and Metal channel, and on today's video we are going to be checking out the second video from the wonderful band that is known as Scribe. Yay!
No conflict of interest here.
So today's video is the video for the song Hail Mary, which will be coming out on the same day as this review is coming out, which is the 10th of February. It's the last of the videos that are coming out pre the album launch show. And finally, I can actually say, yes, I know as of this moment, the album has been finished and has been mastered. So we will definitely have the album ready for the album launch show, which is always a good idea, because there was a few times where it was like, will the album actually be done in time? And we were like, yeah, we're not sure. So shit. But yes, we have actually now got the album finally mastered and mixed and stuff. So Yusuf's done a great job on that. But yeah, so this is the second one. It's interesting. The first video we did was Raising the Dead. That was the opening track for the album, and Hail Mary is the closing track for the album. So yeah, I'm going to leave it to you. I'm really not going to comment on the actual video itself unless there's questions about it at the end, obviously. Happy to talk about the video, but yeah, I can't really comment on whether I think it's a good video or not, because I think it's fucking amazing. But yeah, let's go check it out.
It's Dangerous Dave, YouTube extraordinaire. I am out and about, and I've just heard the most amazing news. Apparently, in this barn here is the original Bloody Mary, aka the Hail Mary mirror. Let's go find out if it's true. Let's check it out. Okay, let's have a look. Holy fucking shit. It's fucking here. It's here. Okay, should we see if it's actually Hail Mary mirror? Let's have a look. Fucking blood. It could be red paint. I don't know. Damn. Hail Mary, bitch. Yeah. Okay, do I take it? Do I take the risk? Hail Mary? Hail Mary. Hail Mary. Hail Mary. I think it's a load of fake, isn't it? Fuck!
I dare you to call that number. See what happens if you do. There is. If you phone that number, there is a helpline. we have actually set up a helpline that is the Hail Mary helpline for missing people. Right, there we go. Let's go Andy first on this one.
I think I don't know if it was captured on the when we create this sort of video and put it up, but Kirk said maybe off camera that he felt there's a sort of going to be a doom element in this song, maybe because you said David is sort of 7.5 minutes, but he's absolutely right. Very, very doom-esque. I thought certainly compared to what was your other track called?
Raising the Dead.
Mine's gone blank. Raising the Dead. Yeah, very good. Reminded me in different ways of Paradise Lost. The sort of lead harmony bit over the chorus was sounded like very early Paradise Lost, and then when I sort of listened back to the sort of the guitar tone over the verses in particular, that reminded me of sort of Gothic era and sort of Paradise Lost, the early albums and everything. But yeah, really, really good track. Kim's vocals I think were excellent, probably the highest register she's ever performed in my from my recollection, listening to her play live and the Scarlet Envy stuff and everything. Video itself, fantastic story. I was immersed in it. I was gripped by it. First of all, you felt sorry for Mike because he got stabbed. Yeah. And then you felt sorry for Chloe because she was possessed by Kim, and then poor old you. Get killed in the Blair Witch segment, which was excellent as well. I mean, the whole thing put together was very, absolutely excellent. I love the colorization, the different sort of filters you had on the scenes. I like maybe that was a throwback to sort of Blair Witch, the sun coming through the trees when Dan and his dad were walking through the woods. That's what that reminded me of. But
yeah, you
guys have put so much work and effort into this. The lyrical content, the story involved, which is fed into the video, the way you've shot it and everything. My only question was, why wasn't I involved in this one? Very disappointed, but yeah, that's the only negative. But yeah, love the track. I think that, because it is, more doom, I prefer it to, on initial comparisons to Raising the Dead, which I also love as well. So this is just making me looking forward to the album and the rest of the tracks even more so. But that was really, really good visually and the music and the song as well. Yeah, loved it.
Brilliant.
Well done.
Okay.
Really involved.
You feel sorry for Mike because he was stabbed. Spare a thought for Chloe, who had her heart ripped out.
Yeah, see, unfortunately, Andy was making a note when that happened. So he was head down, so he missed the head. You actually missed the heart getting punched out the back of her chest.
Good effect.
Somebody will put that in the comments again.
Yeah.
Before I analyse the song.
Photographic memory like Kirk.
Don't worry, when we're ever filming this, it'll be a lot easier. You won't need a notepad because you'll just be able to stop the video and you can talk about it.
Before I analyse the song, how did you create that scene, with the heart? And what did you use there? Was that a pig's heart or something that you've used?
No, so Halloween prop. So it's a rubberized heart, covered it in fake blood, and then we only have a snippet of a frame, but for those that could see it, what we did, we had it shot from the other side of Chloe, so that when Kim's arm goes through, it actually goes through underneath her armpit. So from the angle we shoot it, you can't really see the arm seam, so it just looks like it's been punched through the back of her chest. And we do a very quick, and then we used a little bit of animated graphics of the blood to do the spurt at the back. Same as when she's pulling it out the front of her chest afterwards, when she has to pull it back through. So when she puts her in the chair and she does that, there's a little bit of a spurt of blood. And same with Mike. When Mike gets stabbed, she stabs in between his armpit, and we're above the height, and that where's the blood spurts upwards. Again, is an animated blood. So that was all. Originally, what was weird was when we originally talked about this scene, it was originally that she was going to have her throat cut. And this is when we were talking about it at the filming Raising the Dead. And it was Chloe who said, "Oh, how am I dying in Hail Mary?" And I was like, "Well, how do you want to die? What are you up for?" And she was like, "Well, could Kim get her claws and rip my throat out?" And I was like, "What, like Roadhouse?" I was like, "Yeah, right, yeah, we can do that. That sounds cool." And then I started thinking about in the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, when the guy's in the pit and he's like, "Saruman," and he starts putting it on his chest, and he sort of starts pulling Indiana Jones's heart out, as what he was going to do. And I was like, we could do that. That would be very cool. Then we were like, how are you going to shoot that and make it look realistic? So then the idea was, could we punch your heart out from behind your chest? And then we had at 4 points, I think there's 1 point again early on where Kim dies. We have the smoke comes out, which is her spirit leaving her body, and then she fades, and then she appears behind her chair. And then you see her in the mirror, and then she fades out of sight from the mirror. And that's just basically shooting the same. You have a still camera and you shoot the shot 4 times, and then you mask it and you fade it so that each layer fades. So the person on the top fades, and then that you've left with a mirror at the final end. And it just kind of makes you feel it was all these people disappearing. So it's a good effect. I use it quite a lot. You just need to make sure you plan it and you have a still camera. Otherwise, you get a weird blur line. But yeah, no, it's a cool one to do. Anyway, carry on, Kirk.
Did you write the riffs?
No.
I'm going to say, because this is Andy's spot on. This is it's like a cross between Gothic era Paradise Lost and Obituary. A lot of thought got into it. A lot of extreme metal type techniques in there as well. So one of the criticisms I often have of this type of music is there's no thought gone into the guitars, whereas this got my attention straight away. If you put a harsh vocalist over the top of that, you've effectively got death doom metal, which Andy and I obviously love and listen to all the time. Now, I know that you don't really listen to that, but I'm really impressed by how you've really drawn the darker textures from this song. That could easily be from a Peaceful Records recording from the early 90s. Love the drumming, especially your footwork there, with those double kick 8 notes you're doing.
Near the end.
Really, yeah, really, really good job from Yusuf there. Like you say, in the mixing and mastering to capture that. There's a real presence there. I think that sometimes when I listen to Teller's Scribe, I'm thinking, oh, I'd quite like Scarlet Envy to use some of this production and weight in their guitars as well. Yeah. So because I know obviously Mike and Kim's band and Dan, I am going to make comparisons. That's probably a bit unfair, but I definitely think that they will probably take a lot from Teller's Scribe for Scarlet Envy as well for their main project, because they complement each other so well. And finally, I've got to say, I think the vocals are memorable, aren't they? Especially in the chorus. So I prefer the chorus in this song to the first video that you gave me. I thought that the word delivery was just too fast and didn't match the tempo in that song, whereas this one was spot on. The filming of it, one criticism, when the 3 protagonists realize that something has happened to Mike, why are they all jogging to the scene? If there's a sense of urgency, and then Hail Mary is jogging away and they're just jogging after her. There's nobody know how to sprint.
Have you ever tried to see them? Have you ever tried to get them them lot to run? That is them running.
I like Mike running to me.
That's about as fast as that lot run. Maybe they just didn't want to catch up with it. They're like, fuck that.
Yeah. Well, they didn't know what had happened to Mike yet, to be fair, did they? They had to go and determine has he died.
So the jog up to Mike was they weren't sure what had happened. So they were jogging up to find out there was a kind of run.
When you can see the person who's committed the crime, I'm just surprised at how sluggish people are. It's like, oh, we're not really in the mood. I think we'll just jog after this assailant who's effectively murdered our best friend. No urgency to it. Just
God, you're so connecting, you are.
Get a mobile phone out, call the fucking police, do something. Don't just half-heartedly jog after them.
Fair enough, I'll accept that. Next time I'm going to make you run. Actually, I'm trying to remember. Did you run?
No, I think I was.
I'm fairly certain in that Scarlet Envy you did not.
No, we were the bullies, remember, in that video. Andy and I were the bullies. We don't run anymore.
Yeah, no, I have to be honest. This was an interesting one with the shoot because Ellie, who's obviously does a lot of the Club 85 photography stuff, she was there again. But so she wasn't just doing behind the scenes; she did a lot of the filming as well. So all the filming that was done at the campsite one was Ellie. So I went off and I was filming all of like the Mike and Yusof bits separately, the car park scene, while Ellie went off and did all the campsite. And we had a couple of issues, which is where her camera had a different filter on it, which meant when we went to editing that there was a color issue where my footage was much sharper and hers was a much more like duller kind of greenish kind of hue to it, and mine was really crisp, white and sharp. And I was like, shit, the footage looks like it's completely two different locations, and yet we're next to each other. So we had to try and do some color correction stuff. But the only steer, she had a list of all the scenes that she had to shoot, and then my only thing was we set up the campsite so that we had like the teepee log cabins. I was like, use the shapes around it. I said, look, you've got this big open area. Don't just shoot an open area. Use the trees. Use them to set your scene. Make the scene interesting. So you're not just having an open scene with a person walking. So think about what's in your background. Think about what's your foreground. Use the trees. Cut past the trees. I was like, but don't do this thing where you're following someone through the trees, because then it looks like you're someone following the person. I said, we'll do that later on. I want you to make sure you're feeling like you're capturing the moment, but use, and that's why when you say about the light through the trees was something I was very keen about making sure that we used, and it wasn't just here's a big open field, let's follow. And when we do we've done the video for a song called Hallowed, that was shot at the same time, so we actually shot two videos on the day, which was a very interesting thing to try and do because we had two different scripts, and we were like, right, we've just finished that, everyone go get changed, jump into other clothes. Let's go back into the woods again. We're shooting the next load of scenes in the woods, which is it's our Halloween single. So
does every song on the album have an accompanying video?
Yes, they will have. So the plan for the album was that, and although we haven't done it yet, but so on the 10th of March, when we do the live show, the album will be available, but it will only be available for digital paid download or physical copy. It won't be on Spotify. However, Raising the Dead and Hail Mary will go onto Spotify at that point. And as each video single gets released, we will drop it onto Spotify. Yeah, but you won't be able to get the album until all videos have been released. And that's just our mentality of, why don't you put your whole album on Spotify? Why don't you pay us for what we've done, fuckers? And that's my response to it. I'm not giving my album away for free. So do
you know how bands are doing cassettes? Why don't you do a CD-ROM? In your desktop PC, in your tower.
There is. So I can tell you that the even pressing of the CDs, we're doing everything ourselves. So every album, once we sold the first batch that we've done, everything's being made to measure. It's all DIY. Once we've done the first bunch, as and when I need new CDs, we just basically burn them, and we could put effectively additional bonus features and stuff on them if we want to. So every single CD is customized and it's a one-off print. So
Comes with an exclusive. No, it comes with all the footage of the A.D.K reviews. Can you imagine that?
yeah,
Bonus
we need
feature.
a fucking big DVD for all that.
Conflict of interest again.
I mean, and I don't know, but obviously, if you'll have seen it or will have seen it at this point in time, but yesterday, but which would have been 3 weeks ago when this video comes out. But even like on the Scribe merch store went live yesterday, and every single song on the album has its own customized T-shirt.
I saw that.
This was this was a template for one of them. This is not the one that's actually used in the end. This was the test print, and then Dan, who's the graphic guy, he went off and did some tweaks and stuff. So he's changed the actual original one. But there is a Hail Mary one, there is a Beyond one, there's a Grey Mist, there's a Raising the Dead. So if you have a specific favorite song off of the album, you can get it, and they all have back prints with the Scribe logo on the back as well. There's mugs. So depending on what your favorite song of the album is, you can either get the album one, which has got the full script of the album on the back with the logo on the front. You can get the hoodies, or you can go down. And we've kept the price so that literally the band makes very little. It makes a small amount, but it's the same as if you were buying it straight live from the gig. If you went and bought it from it would be the same price. So we're encouraging people that way. That way you've got a choice of which shirts you want rather than... Because there's no way as a band you can justify going, right, what sizes do you need? We need 5 larges, and we need 7 mediums, and we need an extra large, and there's 6 different prints, and we need to get, and so, all right, let's spend 500 quid on merch and then hope we can sell it. It doesn't make any sense as a band to do that. Now you go, let's get larges, we'll get 10 copies of the large, and if anyone wants any other sizes, push them to the website, and I think deliveries within 3 days. So it's a really quick turnaround for the t-shirt shop to get your stuff delivered, and hence why we're recommending to people to buy it in advance of the gig. Because we'll have CDs and other stuff like that, but T-shirt wise, we'll have a very small amount on the night.
And you've already got a rarity in your back catalogue, a cover of The Cure, Cold.
That is knocking around. Yes, that's going to be going somewhere. That is, I think we're going to remix or master it again somewhere. So that's got to be done with Yusuf at some point. But there you go. Now, if you enjoyed our video, I don't know. Andy looked like he was going to say something there. I don't know.
I was going to say, there's bonus content for the CD. That I've forgotten about the Cure cover that you did. Yeah, that was the sort of beginning of the journey for us listening to Scribe, wasn't it? That was an excellent track as well. Yeah.
So there's that in there. I think we're going to do the remix version of it, which was the much doomier, darker version that we went with it. But we need to go and do some work on it before we can put it on there. And if you like Doom, I mean, I will say about Hail Mary. Hail Mary was one of the first free songs that the band did. It was one of the songs that was sent to me. There was that one, Beyond, and a song called Grey Mist. And they were the free songs that I had to put my own drum tempo to. Hail Mary has a couple of different weird time signatures in it.
Yeah, it does. I noticed that.
So, and you know, if anything's got a weird time signature on it, Dan came up with it. So I think Dan and Mike sat down and wrote that one. Most of Hail Mary was there. And then I had to kind of go off and just work out what I was going to do drum wise. And that kind of evolved over a little while. With certain tempos that I tweaked and adjusted, and even like the double kick at the end, that was actually a Yusuf. He recommended I went down that route. He was like, I really want to hear a double kick instead on the double chorus at the end. I was like, all right, cool. So everyone did get involved in the actual writing of that particular track, but it was one of the, as I said, it's weird on this album. We've already talking about the second album, and what we've said on the second one, we want more involvement overall, because pretty much with the exception of out of the 8 songs on volume 1, none of them were actually us in a room writing them properly like a band. They were all kind of either one of the songs like Hallowed was cobbled together out of parts, or Bella was coupled together out of parts, and then we learnt it, or they were songs that were pretty much written. So we had like, here's a 4 minutes worth of song, we just need like a midsection bit for it, and then we'd find a riff and go, that would work as a midsection, let's put that in. And then we learnt it, and then we kind of worked out to tighten it up as a band, and then Kim went off and did lyrics. So the next album, we're going in with concepts beforehand, so we know what the stories are, and then we're writing towards the stories. So if it feels like it's a dark story, are we going to go more doom on it? The doom element seems to be me that brings the weird time signature, and then I'm like, let's do a slow mid section. Let's do a real kind of doomy.
That's the irony.
Slow mid tempo riff. Let's do a big sludgy bit there.
And
I don't know if that's just because I don't do
always
extreme death
complaining
metal
about
kit.
doom metal, and then everything he writes in this band.
I fucking hate doom metal, but I'm playing it. I love playing it.
Down tempo doom metal.
Yeah.
It is kind of even the new riffs. Every time I put a new song to the guys, I'm like, let's put a song together. Dave, that sounds like Doom again. I know, it sounds fucking brilliant.
Again. You even said you don't like
check out
Paradise
my
Lost.
way, Dave.
I may have to send you this. There are quite this one that sounds like Dreadbeggar. I swear to God, it is. When I wrote it, I was like, this just sounds like Dreadbeggar now. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Andy, let's paraphrase Dave. Yeah, Draconian Time's my favourite. I hate all the early Paradise Lost stuff. Your music sounds like early Paradise Lost.
I like playing it. From a drumming point of view, it's so much fun. But anyway, if you enjoyed our video today, please do like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on another video sometime very soon. Take care.